Mega Maker was released a couple of days ago. In case you're not familiar with Mega Maker, it's a fan-made game, completely free, and it allows you to create and share your own Mega Man levels. I'm going to be honest here, when I first started the game, I was very skeptical. A good Maker game is ridiculously complicated to create. A good Maker game needs tons of interactions between different items. It needs to allow for tons of different ways to approach different levels. And most of all, it needs to allow for creativity. And that's something that is really hard to achieve. So when I first started the game, I was expecting very little. I expected Mega Maker to be a small Mega Man stage creation tool that allows to toy around with a couple of Mega Man enemies and items and to create small, simple stages. I expected the game to lack depth. And wow, I was wrong. The game is surprisingly deep, allows for tons of different types of levels and has an insane amount of polish and unique ideas for a free fan-made game. In fact, the game is so good that it raises the question if it is better than Super Mario Maker. Ultimately, it probably isn't, but it has some unique features and solutions for problems which put Super Mario Maker to shame, and while it lacks some of the features which define Mario Maker, it adds some new brilliant features on its own. But most of all, this little free and fan-made game shows what an insane untouched potential for Maker games exists. In this video, I want to talk about 4 things Mega Maker does really well. So are you ready? Let's do this! Okay, so first let's talk about the thing that Mega Maker probably does best. The weapons. The game features 24 special weapons and a lot of them completely change the way the game is played. The C-Kick allows to create crazy parkour levels. The Spin Jump allows to create platforming stages in the spirit of Super Mario Maker. The Skeleton Thingy allows to turn threats into helpful platforms. The Tornado allows to create interesting platforming challenges and is awesome in general. There is the Deflect weapon which makes Mega Man invulnerable for a moment and reflects projectiles. There is Rush, who allows to change Mega Man into a shoot 'em up or to generate springs when needed. And then there are the completely crazy weapons, like the Time Freezer or the Gravity Flipper. These weapons allow for stages that play completely different. And the coolest thing is that it's possible to let Mega Man start with only one of these weapons and nothing else. So for example, you can create a stage where you only have the C-Kick and the player has to dodge tricky platforming challenges using it. Or the player has to defeat one of the bosses using only the kick. Or you could create a stage where tons of dangerous enemies shoot at Mega Man at once and his only way to defend himself is to freeze time at the right moments in order to make it through the stage alive. There are tons and tons of different levels that can be created just because of the different weapon types, and the exact same stage can play completely different if Mega Man starts with a different weapon. That is a huge strength of Mega Maker, and it is a ton of fun just to try to create unique levels using the different types of weapons. It's even possible to have Mega Man start the stage without a weapon at all. There is only one thing about the weapon system that I really want to criticize. Currently, it is not possible to place new weapons somewhere in the stage for Mega Man to collect. If it was possible to have Mega Man acquire different weapons in one stage, it would add a completely new, huge layer of complexity on top of the game. And out of all things that I wish they add to the game, weapon containers are by far my biggest wish, with exclamation mark. So let's talk about the second thing, which Mega Maker really nails. The way they designed the level map and how enormous a level can potentially be. The first thing about the map editor that is really clever is how easy it is to set up different areas of a stage. The map uses small squares, and these squares can be easily combined to one huge map by clicking a small button at their sides. This allows it to easily create small and huge separate sections of a stage. For example, my first test stage starts in a wide forest area, which leads to a mountain. Then Mega Man has to make his way down through the mountain and a couple of different shaped areas until he reaches a huge area deep down. Afterwards, he makes his way back up, revisits a couple of places he's seen before, but is now on the other side, and then climbs towards the top of the mountain, where the boss awaits him. While this is not a super complicated concept, I think it's amazing how easily it's possible to create such a stage. But what really blew my mind is how incredibly huge the map is. The stage I just showed you uses only 26 squares, but it is possible to create a stage that uses up to 1000 such squares. Let's imagine for a moment the game had placeable weapon containers. It would be possible to create a gigantic Mega Man Metroidvania map where more and more areas become accessible as Mega Man collects more and more weapons. Such a map could feature a several hour-long Mega Man Metroid adventure. I honestly never believed that a Metroid Maker could work, but this game single-handedly proved me wrong. In fact, if there were weapon containers in this game, it would be actually a close to perfect Metroid Maker, which is really amazing. The sheer size of this level map also made me realize what an enormous missed potential it was to make the map in Super Mario Maker so small and restrictive, and how cool vertical stages can be. Talking about restrictions leads me to the third thing I want to point out. There are no restrictions in Mega Maker. It's possible to place Mega Man 1 enemies in a stage which uses a Mega Man 3 background, Mega Man 2 tiles, a Mega Man 5 boss, and only weapons from Mega Man 6 while using the charge mechanic of Mega Man 4. And this allows to create stages with tons of different styles within it. Just take a look at this stage, which I got to play when playing random stages. Here Mega Man is in the middle of a desert. After a while he encounters a sphinx. Then he's able to enter the sphinx, which leads him to an old ancient grave. This stage ends here, but in theory, there could be a huge machine room inside this grave, which could lead to a cave, which could lead back to the desert, into a city, on the top of a tower, through a waterfall, and into a rainforest, where Mega Man finally fights a boss. That's amazing, and it really made me question something that I always accepted: the theme restrictions in Super Mario Maker. Why can't I place airship tiles in a castle stage? Why can't I have a cave filled with lava? And why can't I use a castle tile set in an underwater stage? If this was possible, it would allow for so many different looking levels in Super Mario Maker, and I don't think there's a huge downside to it. Okay, so let's talk about the fourth thing that is really interesting about Mega Man Maker. I believe Mega Man stages, by design, forgive design mistakes more easily, and the game offers a couple of important tools which make design mistakes easier to forgive. I already played dozens of different Mega Man Maker stages, and overall the random stages appear to be of higher quality than random stages are in Super Mario Maker. I believe that this has a lot to do with the set rules of each game, and Mega Man simply being more forgiving to design flaws than Mario. For example, while Mario's life is completely dependent on eating mushrooms, Mega Man has a health bar. Mario starts small and dies in a single hit if he doesn't find some mushrooms to eat, but Mega Man starts with a full health bar and is able to tank a couple of shots before things become really dangerous for him. In my opinion, one of the main problems with user-generated content is that creators tend to completely underestimate how challenging a stage is for someone who sees it the first time. The high amount of hits that Mega Man is able to tank in comparison to Mario, for example, really helps to counter this phenomenon. Such small things really help with the design flaws user-generated stages tend to have. So is Mega Maker perfect? Well, no. There are tons of small problems with the game. It lacks interactions between different items and obstacles. There are many bugs. The UI is a little bit clunky. It lacks some tools to stream the level creation process. It hasn't found a magical answer on how to make playing user-generated content more rewarding. It's probably impossible to create crazy contraptions like combination locks or RPG levels. And it lacks a couple of things like background tiles that make creating a stage easier. But first of all, it is really easy to forgive these flaws if we are talking about a fan-made game which is completely free to play. Second, even though there are some flaws, it's definitely possible to have hours over hours of fun with this completely free game. And most of all, this crazy fan game shows what an untouched potential exists for maker games. Imagine how a Sonic Maker could look like if it was developed by experienced game designers with a decent budget. Or a Castlevania Maker, a Kirby Maker, a Metroid Maker, a Zelda Maker, a Final Fantasy Maker, an old school GTA Maker, a Mario Kart Maker, a Pokemon Maker, a Crash Bandicoot Maker, or even a WarioWare Maker. I really believe that there are almost no limits to maker games, and that so far we've only been scratching the surface. And this little game kind of proves it. You can find the download link to the game in the description or, via Google, and I'd highly recommend everyone to give it a try. Worst case, you spend 20 minutes with it, find it boring and move on. But in the best case, you'll get hooked like I did and design a level until you realize that you haven't been building the stage for 2 hours, but for 6, that it's 2 AM in the morning and that you're really hungry. Oh, and if you enjoyed and you're looking for people to talk about the game, or if you're looking for really high quality stages, don't forget to check the official Mega Man Maker Reddit out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, and maybe you feel especially mega today and want to hit the subscribe button as well. I hope that you have a wonderful day, that they add weapon containers to the game, and to see you soon. Goodbye!